You alright guys, welcome to episode 10 of Men of Steel with me, DJ Franny Jeff. How is it going? It's not going so well, thanks for asking. Managed to shake the sore throat, so that's good, but in terms of how Sheffield FC are doing, we're right in the middle of a relegation battle. It is the 10th of March 2018. I didn't plan on leaving it this long before I made another video. Basically, the last two matches you saw were the start of a horrifying run of losses and just games without a win. We lost to Matlock, you saw that. We lost to Stockport. Confidence dropped through the fucking floor. We then lost to Whitby, Grantham, Ashton, Ilkeston and Gressley. That last one against Gressley as well. And what actually happened with these matches, you know, like I've been saying all season, we've been matching our opposition in terms of chances and, you know, possession, and that started to change after those two matches we lost in the last episode. It started to be that we were just getting outclassed. So for this game at home against Ilkeston, I decided to try a 3-5-2, which I've not played before with this Sheffield team, and it went okay. I think we gave as good as we got against Ilkeston, but they did manage to walk away with the win. And we tried it again away at Gressley, and we got absolutely fucking hammered. So we dropped the 3-5-2 after those two matches, went back to the 4-1-2-3, and just simplified it a bit, and it has seemed to work better since then. We went on a run of 3 draws, which probably all should have been wins. This one against Skelmersdale was particularly annoying because we went 1-0 up, and then Steve Woolley missed a penalty, and instantly Chris Speed scored the equaliser, and just nothing else happened for the rest of the game. And yeah, since we've swapped back to the 4-1-2-3 again, we've done alright. 3 draws, then a loss, win, draw, loss, loss, win. So things are starting to pick up again. We were seriously getting left behind, and it looked like we were just going to fall to the bottom of the table before we got this win against Met Police, who are scrapping it out down in the relegation zone with us. But yeah, we have started to look a bit better since then. So in terms of today's episode, we've got Greenwich, who are second in the league. We're playing them at our place at the Coach and Horses ground. We then take a trip to Hednesford, who are 15th in the league. And finally we're going to host Blythe, who are 19th in the league. So I reckon we can get some out of these games. I reckon we can get, what, 4 points is realistic out of these games. Maybe 6. I would take 6. Of fucking course I would. But yeah, so I'll show you these games, and then depending on how we do over these games, I'm planning on showing you these last 3 games in the next episode. That'll be the season finale. So what has been going on? First of all, Jake Turner has transferred to Southport in the Vanarama National League. And you could look at that and say, what, not only have you just had this player sat on your bench for 14 months, you've now let him go to a team that are 2 divisions above you. Yes, that's correct. But he is doing really badly, which I think makes it okay. He's conceded 7 in 3 and a bit appearances. And yeah, he just weren't doing it for this club. So if he does make a success of himself 2 levels up, then fair play to him. There's a couple of loans that I've not told you about. Dominic Dell has been on loan all season at Bedford, and I let him go out on loan thinking, you know, he's not going to get much time here. I brought in a bunch of strikers. This is back in the summer. I brought in a bunch of strikers. He's not going to get any game time. I'll let him go off on loan. He'll score some goals, get his confidence up, come back, be a good striker for us. Turns out Bedford are lower than the 8th tier, so they've not got any fixtures scheduled. And so he's not played a fucking game all year. Good piece of business. And Luke Ainscough, who in January was loaned out to Stamford, who are battling it out at the bottom of our old division, the English Northern Premier League First Division South. Almost certainly getting relegated from there, the 24th. Not looking good for them. But apart from that, nothing's really happened. We brought in David Barrow just as a backup goalkeeper, but I'm not planning on playing him anytime soon, so don't worry about that. So to the first of today's games then. Greenwich are expected to line up 4-1-2-3, and we are doing exactly the same. We've got Baldrick in goal, Turner and Smalley as the fullbacks, Qualter and Williamson in the centre of defence. Michael Towie linking them to the midfield of Jennings and Potts, who you know full well by now. On the wings, it's Alex East and Gary Thomas, and up front it's Danny Clifton. So we have gone back to basics. I've stopped fucking around and tinkering with the tactics so much. We've gone back to what we're good at, just a simple 4-1-2-3. And yeah, it's been working fairly well in the last few matches. Worth pointing out as well, we cannot escape the relegation zone with today's result, no matter what it is. So, good. Lots of reasons to be optimistic. So Greenwich have come flying out. They've already had 7 shots to our 1, which isn't great. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go even more simple. Back to the standard flexible with the deep defensive line. See how they fare against that. Okay, well, not a single highlight in that particular half, but that's fine with me. I mean, if we can escape with a 0-0 draw against second in the league, I think we're laughing. Greenwich as well. Greenwich are so bloody annoying. If they get promoted, which it looks like they will, it will be their 3rd successive promotion. Jammy bastards. Probably not jammy, it's probably more to do with skill and determination, work rate. I think we're going to introduce... I wanted to introduce Ollie Ryan, but I've not put him on the bench, so cannot do that. So we're going to have to settle for Jordan Ball. Fantastic, get out there, Jordan. And I think with 10 minutes to go, seeing as they've had 15 shots now to our 2, I'm just going to go very, very defensive, and we'll just try and ride it out to the full-time whistle. Here is a highlight. For fuck's sake, it's nodded on, and Smalley's got it. Don't fuck about with it. Baldrick gets it away, and he's found one of our... Baldrick has found one of our players with a goal kick. It has been taken off him though by Barr. Jennings wins it back. Won back by Barr. This isn't great play, is it? Gabsy for Greenwich. Gabsy of Greenwich. Morrison swings it in. Smalley gets it away. Is this actually going to be a highlight, do we know? Barr cuts inside. Barr, will he have a shot? He's got tons of space. He puts it well wide. This is an awful match. But that's fine. We make the switch to contain. And it's such an awful match that there's been no goals. And we're 91 minutes in. There goes the full-time whistle. Welcome to another exciting video. Please keep your arms and legs inside the cart at all times, because it's going to be a bumpy ride like that. Okay, so mixed feelings about that, because we do go to 21st, which is the very top of the relegation zone, but we are 6 points off 20th, which means we're pretty far away from safety. Not great, but I know for a fact that we play at least 2 of the 3 teams above us. In fact, we play at least 3 of the 4 teams above us. So we've got to make our own chance to escape. But you know what? I do quite fancy our chances, because the best football we played last season was when it came to the crunch. When it got to the end of the season, we seemed to wake up and start actually playing properly. Right then, let's have our socks knocked off even more by some transfers. We'll have a quick roundup of the world of football. Nothing much too exciting here. I did hear that Paris Saint-Germain were thinking of breaking the world record transfer fee to sign Kevin De Bruyne, but obviously that didn't come off. Kevin Gamero went to Man U, that's quite good. Craig Dawson went to West Ham in a deal worth up to 20 million, that's alright. And Francis Coquelin to Leicester for another 20 million. Jack Grealish got a big money move to Sunderland, lucky boy. And he's still not earned a cap for either England or Ireland. I bet he feels quite silly at this point. Elsewhere, the nomadic Christopher Ayer has moved again, this time from West Brom to Olympique Lyonnais for £7.5 million. Mario Balotelli has found a new home in the Black Country with West Brom. That's quite a funny trajectory for his career to take. And apart from that, nothing much happened. In the Premier League, Manchester United are leading the title charge. The mighty Royal Blues are sitting in 4th. 7 places above Liverpool. Liverpool have finally found their place in the Premier League table, and that's good to see. Good on them. And apart from that, Everton being in the top 4, nothing interesting whatsoever is happening in the world of football. La Liga is exactly as you'd expect. So is Liga 1, so is Serie A, so is the Bundesliga. I mean, nothing interesting is really happening in the Premier League, but as a former Everton superstar, I thought I should draw attention to the fact that they are sitting in a Champions League place. Bit of transfer news. Nigel Sharp has moved to Tividale on a free transfer. He was never going to get a chance with me as his manager, unfortunately. There's just something about him that I don't like. Maybe he could have been good for us, but we're well stocked in defence. Fair enough, they're not all playing as well as they can do, but the ability is there and it will click. I'm sure it will click. So Nigel Sharp has gone, but I'm not too disappointed. I didn't make any attempt to keep him, if I'm being honest. And it is a bitter, bitter blow for Bedford Town. They have lost Dominic Dell for 7 to 8 weeks through wear and tear. Fantastic. And that means he will miss no matches whatsoever. So thoughts go out to Bedford, for fuck's sake. Okay, now that we are 6 points from safety in the Northern Premier, it's starting to sink in how important these games are. We are on a pretty good run, but I'm just having a look through the fixtures. Most of the teams we're playing are in the bottom half of the league. We really, really need as many points as possible. I know that sounds fucking obvious, but we need to, I think, win both of these games. I think we need to beat Hednesford and Blythe, or the pressure is really mounting up now. I mean, even by my standards, I knew we'd be in for a tough time this season. I did not envisage at any point being 6 points from safety. It's rattled me, I'll be honest. Anyway, here's Hednesford. They play with a 4-1-2-3. We will play on the counter again in our 4-1-2-3, and it does tend to work a little bit better away from home, obviously, because we're sitting back, soaking up pressure, and then hitting on the break. So hopefully this will be a big green W. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that take some of the pressure off? Wouldn't that be a nice thing to do, Football Manager, for me and my YouTube series? That'd be great. Okay, 8.5 minutes in, we have a highlight. And it's ours. East drills it in. East has found the bottom corner of the net. You beautiful bastard, Alex East. That's his 9th goal of the season. I don't know what happened there. We are going to need the 3D replay. So it was a Michael Towie throw into Ben Turner, who laid it off for East. I thought it was a cross initially. I think maybe the keeper did too. He got down to it a bit late. Did get a hand to it, but it just bounced over his hand into the bottom corner. Excellent, but now Hednesford are coming back at us. Miller to Salmons. Let's not do this. A minute after our goal, let's not do this, eh? It's crossed in. Baldrick. Comfortably, it said at the bottom of the screen there. He gathers it comfortably. Go on, Baldrick. I mean, the highlight's not over. It's watched Baldrick take the free kick. Maybe it's ours. Maybe it's our highlight. I think it is. Danny Clifton. He's come tearing through the middle. He has a go, but it's into the side netting. Okay, unlucky, unlucky. Good start to the match. I'm especially happy with Alex East because he's, to be honest, not been in the best form lately. Danny Clifton has a go. What a goal, Danny Clifton. That looked like it was right in the top corner. 16th goal of the season for Danny Clifton. I tell you what, I said at the start of the season, I remember, because Ollie Ryan was out for quite a while. I said, we need one of the other strikers to step up and score the goals for us this season. Danny Clifton. He's been a fucking revelation. He's been fantastic. Okay, 2-0 up at half-time. Away from home. I think we can afford to be very happy. Keep it going. Well played all round. I am very happy with that first half. Let's not fuck it up. Chambers with a long ball forward. Giver and knotted on. But we've won it back. Yes, Jennings. Ben Turner, what can you do? Who can you find? Give it back to Jennings, please. He's lost it, but here is Jennings. Here's Clifton. Clifton, great ball through to Jennings. Leroy Jennings. Mate, he had Brandon Potts tearing it up through the middle. Should have laid it off. Okay, half an hour to go. No need for anything drastic. I'm just going to drop the wingers back a bit, bring on Woolley for Thomas, who's been ineffective, and send him back out there. Nice and easy. Nothing difficult about that whatsoever. I really do hope this won't be a highlight for Hednesford. Please let Steve Woolley to come on. Please, I can't even talk now. I'm frightened. Please put the ball out of play and fade to black. Alex East is coming through the middle now. He finds Thomas. Thomas puts it wide, yep. And that will be the last thing he does, Gary Thomas. Another excellent game from you. And that's sarcasm. With me, DJ Franny Jeff. I forgot my name for the episode. Leroy Jennings finds Steve Woolley. Go on, Steve, swing one in. He gets a good cross in. Potts can't finish it. Clifton can. Of course Clifton can. You'd bet your fucking house on that. A brace for Clifton. 17 goals. Absolutely dominating this match. Well taken by Steve Woolley. Drilled it in along the ground. Potts should bury that, but he doesn't. But it's okay because Clifton does. I mean, even that finish was a bit too close to the keeper. It was like straight through him. You do have the whole goal to aim at. You two realise that, don't you? Jennings releases Alex East, though. Alex East, good save. Chambers, though. Oh. See, this is what we can do when we're under pressure. Is that what this team's about? We just need to be under pressure before we can actually fucking do anything. As it stands, this would lift us to 3 points from safety, so that would be very, very nice. And with 14 minutes to go, I am, in fact, getting rid of all that and going ultra defensive. We're going to grind our way, not like that, but we're going to grind our way to safety this season by using ultra defensive 4-5-1s. So sue me. Coulter gets it away. Potts nods it on. 3-0. It just does not get better than that. Literally. Nobody gave us a chance, but excellent performance, particularly East, Jennings, Clifton, and Coulter dominating at the back as well. In fact, pretty much everyone but Gary Thomas was good. Jason Pope's out for 3 to 4 weeks after a heavy tackle. He suffered a gashed leg. I mean, that's quite bad news because he is a good squad player, but to be honest, he's barely played. 8 starts, 10 sub appearances, 6.84 average. I think it's because we've had Michael Towie, who's become accomplished at defensive midfield. It's given him a new lease of life. Look, at the age of 33, he's loving it, and he's been very, very good as well. He's been very good for us this season. I think next season might be one too many for him though, so we are going to need Jason Pope to really step up and get accomplished as quickly as possible at that CDM role. Do you know what's really annoying though? It's at times like this, when you're 3 points from safety with 6 games to go, that you find out who your real friends are in the dressing room. Let's have a look. Let's try and offer a new contract to Billy the Kid. He's got no problem with it. Ben Turner? No problem with it. Leroy Jennings? Do you want to... Oh, he's waiting on the club to secure safety in the league for... Well, fuck you then, Leroy. Bringing that shit in here. Jack Broadhead's the exact same. No time for players like this. I'm putting them all on a mental list. And, you know, when we're good enough to ditch them, we will ditch them spitefully. They're going to wish they'd never refused to sign a contract with me, he says as he puts one of them on the bench. Well, I'm thinking about that kind of thing as well. I've been making offers for a few players, and because we've still got quite a lot of wage budget spare, even though we've lost so much money for some reason. We've got a load of wage budget and transfer budget to spend if we need to, but no one will actually fucking sign for us. Lenny Pidgley, who's in the division below us, says we ain't got a strong enough squad to match his ambitions. And it's a similar story. Like, I've been looking, as I did in the summer, at the players with the highest stats in the divisions below us, and if they're good enough that I want to sign them, they don't want to join. Either because we've not got a good enough squad, however that works, or because our league performance is concerning to them. Well, what's the worst that can happen? You sign for us, either you help us not get relegated, so you're in the division above, or we come back down and you're in the same place. You've lost nothing. We're in a bit of a position now. Ollie Ryan wants to leave as he feels he won't ever get regular first team football again. I've asked Alex East to sort it out for me. He's not been able to do it. So I think it might be the end of the road for Ollie Ryan. He's made 2 starting appearances and 12 sub appearances, so I can see where he's coming from. But we've just not been able to fit him in this season. He has still made 14 appearances and he's scored 1 goal. He's played 21 times in the under-23s and he's scored 3 goals. So to be fair, I don't know what he's bloody complaining about. But yeah, I'm going to tell him it's probably best you leave. Oh, he don't want to leave. Bloody called your bluff, Ollie Ryan. Here we go then, final game of the video, and we are playing Blythe at our place at the Coach and Horses ground. We're going to stick exactly as we've played the other 2 games in this episode. I'm not even going to swap out Gary Thomas because I feel like there's no better options. Jamie Cheatham doesn't really do any better when I give him a chance on the left wing, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Let's see, can we actually get to safety today? We can. If we win and Workington lose, we can go out of the relegation spots today, and that would be bloody brilliant after just being 6 points deep in them. Turns out they've got a Fosu Mensah on their team. Alphonse Fosu Mensah. I'm assuming he's related to the Man United lad. It's got to be, hasn't he? Armstrong. Oh, good save, Baldrick. Looked like a looping header from Armstrong, but Baldrick were too good. Tipped it over the bar. Their corner. Headed away by Danny Clifton at the near post. That'll do. Another highlight. This is the match, by the way. You might see Kasimba, the number 8 there. This is the match that, when it was at their place earlier in the season, there was 1 highlight all game, and they scored from it. A Kasimba free kick in the 6th minute. It's crossed in there for Clifton. Oh, just over the bar. But only 2 highlights for the first half. That's fine. We can still come out of this match with a win today. Brandon Potts is looking nervous. Been unlucky today, Brandon. Yeah, looks a bit happier. Go on, mate. Brandon Potts has sort of been overshadowed this season, I think, by Leroy Jennings. Leroy Jennings has really taken his chance after the departure of Lee Hendry in the summer. And he's been probably by far our best player, actually, in terms of overall contribution. He's done exactly the same job that Brandon Potts did last year. Here is Jennings to Alex East. It's back to Baldrick. Can he find one of our players? Ah, not this time. Kasimba's had a go. You cheeky fuck. I bloody hate you, Kasimba. Gonna give you a cheeky scout as well. Brandon Potts with a crossfield ball. Ah, it's cut out by Tinkler. Fosu Mensah now. To Kasimba. Go on, have a go, prick. Harrington to Wilson. Wilson's cross. It's beaten everyone. Oh, fucking Kasimba. His 3rd goal of the season. Well, how's that fair? He scored 2 of them against me. I really need to sign him, I think. How's this leave us looking in the league? Still 3 points off. That's annoying. And Stourbridge have got a game in hand, so they can actually go out of the relegation spot ahead of us. Towie to Potts. Clifton. Back to Brandon Potts. Back to Danny Clifton. Have a go. Is it the bloody bar? Oh no. It's going to be one of them, innit? Let's go attacking. Let's try and catch him off guard. And in fact, I'll tell you what. Jamie Cheatham on. Michael Towie off. East goes up front. Cheatham on the right. Back to the 4-2-2. Fucking 2. Gone to overload now for the final 10. Kasimba gets the corner in. Armstrong heads it over the bar. Oh. And there we go. A 1-0 defeat at home against Blythe. And that's just not good enough. That's the kind of result that'll get you relegated. Cheers, Ronnie. I will tell the team that I'm disappointed. That is really frustrating. We could have escaped the relegation spots, but instead we are still right in the thick of it. But you know what? I said at the start of the episode I would take 4 points from these 3 games. So I guess I can't moan all that much. We've got 4 points from those 3 games. We still need to pick up plenty more if we're going to get out of this fucking mess we've created for ourselves. But it should be fine. Yeah. So that's where I'm going to leave it for today's episode, guys. We've got some big games coming up. As I say, what I am planning on doing at the minute is making an episode for the last 3 games of the season. But it might turn out that it won't actually be that close. We might be safe before that. We might be relegated before that. And if that is the case, I'll do the episode earlier on, where it's, you know, just whenever it's make or break. That's when we'll do the episode. But if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to go and watch Freddy Adu's videos as well. He's taken over as Arsenal manager and he's got a very good playthrough going, also on the Wasted Talent channel. But other than that, I'll see you next time. Bye.